Commander Rain Harrison stood at the observation deck of the Earth Fleet vessel, Horizon Dawn, her eyes fixed on the endless expanse of stars before her. The ship's quantum sensors had picked up something unprecedented, a transmission unlike anything humanity had encountered in its centuries of space exploration. The message came from deep within the Andromeda galaxy, carrying both a plea for help and a warning. "Commander, we've finished decoding the signal," Lieutenant James Walsh reported, his holographic display illuminating the dimly lit command center. "It's from something called the Kylixian sovereignty. They're running from something." Rain's fingers traced the tactical display, watching as the decoded message revealed coordinates and fragmentary data about a pursuing force. After 15 years in Earth Fleet, she thought she'd seen everything the cosmos had to offer. She was wrong. "The Kylixian royal family claims their civilization is under attack from the Nexus Dominion," Walsh continued, his voice carrying a note of concern. "They're requesting sanctuary within human space." The request was unprecedented. Humanity had maintained a careful policy of non-intervention in extragalactic affairs, focusing instead on building their defensive capabilities and expanding their colonial reach. But this was different. "Display their flight trajectory," Rain ordered, her cybernetic eye implant processing the data streams flooding her visual cortex. The holographic display shifted, showing a desperate chase across multiple star systems. The Kylixian vessels, 3 small ships barely holding together, were pushing their engines beyond safe limits. Behind them, marked in ominous red, were the massive warships of the Nexus Dominion. Their energy signatures were off the charts, suggesting weapons technology far beyond current human capabilities. "Get me Admiral Blackwood," Rain commanded, her decision already made. The consequences of intervention would be severe, but the alternative, allowing an entire civilization to fall, was unthinkable. The Admiral's weathered face appeared on the main screen, his expression grave. "I assume this is about our friends from Andromeda." "Yes, sir, the Kylixians will reach our space in approximately 72 hours. Their ships are carrying the royal family and what appears to be their civilization's entire cultural database. The Nexus Dominion," Rain paused, choosing her words carefully. "They're not just conquering the Kylixians, sir. They're erasing them." Admiral Blackwood's jaw tightened. The implications were clear. This wasn't just about one alien species. If the Dominion succeeded here, Earth could be next. "You understand what you're asking, Commander Harrison. Interfering could drag humanity into an interstellar war we're not prepared for." Rain nodded, her cybernetic eye glowing slightly brighter. "With respect, sir, I believe we're already involved. The Dominion knows we received the transmission. They'll come for us eventually. At least this way, we choose the battlefield." The Admiral was silent for a long moment, studying the tactical displays. Finally, he spoke. "Very well, Commander, you have authorization to proceed with intervention. The 7th Fleet will rendezvous with you at the edge of human space. But Harrison," his voice grew stern, "this is a rescue mission only. Engage the Dominion only if absolutely necessary." "Understood, sir." Rain turned to her crew as the transmission ended. "All hands to battle stations. Plot an intercept course with the Kylixian vessels." As the Horizon Dawn's engines roared to life, Rain couldn't shake the feeling that this was more than just a rescue mission. Humanity was about to step onto a much larger stage, and the galaxy would never be the same. The ship's AI, Nova, spoke through the command center's speakers. "Commander, initial analysis suggests the Nexus Dominion vessels are equipped with quantum phase weapons. Our current shielding may be insufficient." "Noted, Nova. Begin running combat simulations. I want options when we engage." Rain turned to her tactical officer. "And get me everything we have on quantum phase technology. If we're going to dance with the devil, we better know all the steps." As the Horizon Dawn accelerated toward its destiny, Commander Harrison watched the stars blur into streaks of light. Whatever waited for them at the edge of human space, she knew one thing for certain: humanity was about to show the galaxy what they were made of. The Horizon Dawn dropped out of hyperspace at the designated coordinates, joined by 5 other vessels of the 7th Fleet. The void before them sparkled with weapons fire as the three Kylixian ships limped toward human space, their engines leaving trails of plasma in their wake. Multiple quantum signatures detected, Nova announced. Nexus Dominion vessels will be in weapons range in 6 minutes. Commander Harrison's cybernetic eye processed the battlefield data in real time. The Kylixian ships were practically falling apart, their hull integrity below 30%. On their current trajectory, they wouldn't make it. Lieutenant Walsh, open a channel to the lead Kylixian vessel, Rain ordered, her fingers dancing across the tactical display. And bring us between them and the Dominion fleet. The viewscreen flickered to life, revealing a sight that made even the seasoned crew pause. The Kylixian leader, High Sovereign Verdrix, stood before them, a being of crystalline structure and bioluminescent energy. Their form shifted like liquid mercury, patterns of light pulsing beneath a translucent exterior. Commander Harrison of Earth Fleet, Verdrix's voice resonated through the command center, a melody of harmonics that Nova translated. We did not expect you to come. We received your distress signal, High Sovereign. The 7th Fleet stands ready to assist. Rain's voice was firm, professional, despite the wonder of seeing such an advanced species humbled before them. The Dominion, Verdrix's form flickered with what appeared to be pain or exhaustion. They seek our Nexus key. It cannot fall into their hands, the power it contains. They would reshape reality itself. Before Rain could respond, the tactical display exploded with warnings. The Dominion fleet had launched their first salvo, quantum-phase torpedoes that could phase through traditional shields. All ships evasive maneuvers, Rain commanded. Nova, initiate defense pattern Delta 7, deploy quantum countermeasures. The space around the human fleet erupted in a dance of light and energy as the vessels moved in perfect coordination. The Horizon Dawn's experimental defense systems, designed by humanity's best minds, were about to face their ultimate test. High Sovereign, prepare for emergency transport, Rain ordered. We'll get your people to safety. The first wave of torpedoes struck. Most were deflected or destroyed, but one found its mark. The smallest Kylixian vessel erupted in a sphere of quantum fire, its crystalline occupants screaming across all frequencies before falling silent. Rage flashed across Verdrix's features. Commander, you must understand, the Nexus key isn't just a weapon. It's the heart of our civilization, the source of our evolution, in the wrong hands. We understand, High Sovereign, Rain interrupted, her cybernetic eye tracking multiple threat vectors simultaneously. But right now, we need to focus on survival. Walsh, begin emergency transport of the Kylixian refugees. Dr. Patel, prepare medical bay for crystalline life forms. The battle intensified as the Dominion fleet pressed their attack. Their ships, massive constructs of dark metal and pulsing energy, moved with impossible precision. But humanity's fleet wasn't backing down. Commander, Nova's voice carried an unusual note of urgency. I'm detecting a quantum anomaly building within the lead Dominion vessel. Energy readings are off the scale. Rain's heart sank as she realized what was coming. They're powering up their main weapon. All ships, concentrate fire on their flagship. We need to disrupt that weapon. The human fleet's response was immediate and devastating. Rail guns spat hypervelocity rounds while plasma lances carved through space. The Dominion's shields held, but their weapon charging sequence was disrupted. Transport complete, Walsh reported. All surviving Kylixians are aboard. Their ships are... He paused as the remaining Kylixian vessels suddenly began to glow with internal light. They're scuttling their ships, Rain realized. They're making sure the Dominion can't retrieve any technology. The Kylixian vessels exploded in a cascade of quantum energy, creating a temporary barrier between the human fleet and their pursuers. Rain seized the opportunity. All ships fall back to rally point beta, maximum speed. She turned to where High Sovereign Verdrix had been transported onto her bridge. Your people are safe, Sovereign. Now perhaps you can tell us what we've just gotten ourselves into. As the fleet retreated toward human space, Verdrix's crystalline form pulsed with solemn light. Commander Harrison, you and your people have shown tremendous courage, but I fear this is only the beginning. The Dominion will not stop until they have the Nexus key, or until both our civilizations are reduced to stardust. The weight of those words settled over the bridge like a shroud. Humanity had just entered a war they barely understood, against an enemy whose true power they had yet to witness. But as Rain looked at her crew, human ingenuity and determination personified, she knew they would find a way to prevail. They had to. The fate of two civilizations now depended on it. Deep within the secure laboratories of Earth's orbital defense station, Dr. Patel studied the crystalline structure of their Kylixian guests with growing concern. The quantum readings were unlike anything she'd ever seen, and the implications were staggering. "Commander Harrison," she called, her dark eyes fixed on the holographic displays. "You need to see this immediately." Rain arrived moments later, her cybernetic eye already processing the data streams. "What have you found, Doctor?" "The Kylixians, their biological structure is intertwined with quantum technology. They're not just carrying the Nexus key, they are the key." Patel manipulated the display, showing the intricate patterns within the crystalline beings. Each of them contains a fragment of its power. Before Rain could respond, alarms blared throughout the station. Lieutenant Walsh's voice crackled over the comm. "Commander, we've detected quantum signatures within our defense grid. Someone's trying to sabotage our shields." "Impossible," Rain muttered. "Those systems are isolated." Her voice trailed off as realization dawned. She turned to High Sovereign Verdrix, who stood silently in the corner. "Unless someone gave them access." Verdrix's crystalline form pulsed with what might have been regret. "You don't understand, Commander. The Dominion has held our homeworld hostage for months. They forced us to plant quantum beacons in your systems during transport." The betrayal stung, but Rain's tactical mind was already racing ahead. "Nova, initiate Protocol Omega Black. Purge all systems and reinitialize from secure backups." "Warning," Nova responded. "Quantum corruption detected in primary defense grid. Nexus Dominion fleet approaching from multiple vectors." Rain's cybernetic eye flashed as she processed tactical options. They were surrounded, their defenses compromised, and their allies had just revealed themselves as unwitting pawns. But she wasn't done fighting, not by a long shot. "Dr. Patel, if the Kylixians are the key, can we use that power ourselves?" Patel's eyes widened. "Theoretically, yes, but the biological interface would require a host," Verdrix finished. "A fusion of organic and quantum technology." Their crystalline form shifted, looking pointedly at Rain's cybernetic implants. The implications were clear. Rain's neural augmentations might allow her to interface with the Kylixian quantum network. It was desperate, dangerous, and probably suicidal. In other words, exactly the kind of plan they needed. As the Dominion fleet closed in, Commander Harrison prepared to take the biggest gamble of her life, one that would either save two civilizations or doom them all. The neural interface chamber hummed with energy as Dr. Patel made final adjustments. Commander Harrison lay on the medical bed, her cybernetic systems interfacing with Kylixian quantum technology. "The transformation has begun," Verdrix observed, their crystalline form resonating with the chamber's energy. "But you must understand, Commander, this connection goes beyond mere technology. You will carry a piece of our consciousness, our very essence." Rain gritted her teeth as waves of quantum energy coursed through her body. Her cybernetic eye blazed with new power, and she could feel her consciousness expanding, touching minds and machines alike. "Dominion ships breaching final defense line," Walsh's voice echoed through the station. "Multiple hull breaches on levels 3 through 7. Through her enhanced perception, Rain could see it all: every ship, every weapon, every quantum signature in nearby space. The Dominion fleet surrounded them, their massive vessels preparing for the final assault. But she could also see something they couldn't: a weakness in their quantum network. "All ships fall back to secondary positions," she commanded, her voice carrying harmonic overtones like the Kylixians. "Dr. Patel, begin quantum pulse sequence on my mark." The enemy fleet pressed their advantage, their quantum phase weapons tearing through what remained of Earth's orbital defenses. But this time, something was different. This time, they faced an opponent who could see the quantum strings they manipulated. Rain reached out with her enhanced consciousness, touching the quantum field that connected the Dominion ships. With Calyxian knowledge flowing through her neural pathways, she began to understand their technology, their tactics, their vulnerabilities. They're not invincible, she realized aloud. They're afraid of what the Calyxians might become, afraid of evolution itself. As Dominion forces breached the station, Rain made her move. Through her quantum-enhanced cybernetics, she sent a cascade of commands, disrupting the enemy's network. Ships began to lose coordination, their weapons falling out of phase. But the price was devastating. Each command sent waves of pain through her body as human and alien technologies fought for dominance. She could feel herself changing, becoming something neither human nor Calyxian. The fate of two civilizations hung in the balance, and Commander Rain Harrison stood at the breaking point between them. The final battle unfolded across quantum and physical space alike. Commander Harrison, her consciousness expanded beyond human limits, orchestrated a defense that would become legend. Multiple quantum signatures destabilizing, Nova reported. Dominion fleet experiencing cascading systems failure. Through the quantum network, Rain could feel the enemy's confusion turning to fear. Their perfectly coordinated fleet was falling into chaos, their advanced weapons turning against them. But the Dominion commander had one final card to play. If we cannot have the Nexus key, the transmission boomed across all frequencies, then none shall survive to wield it. The flagship's quantum core began to overload, threatening to create a chain reaction that would tear apart the fabric of space itself. Rain knew they had seconds to act. All ships clear the area, she commanded. Then turning to Verdrix, High Sovereign, I need your people's strength, one last time. The Calyxians joined their consciousness with hers, their quantum energy flowing through her enhanced systems. Together, they reached out across space, touching the quantum strings that bound reality itself. As the Dominion flagship began to detonate, Rain and the Calyxians created a quantum containment field. The explosion twisted and warped, but could not break free. When the energy finally dissipated, the Dominion fleet was gone. The victory came at a cost. The neural interface had changed Rain permanently. Her consciousness now existed partially in quantum space, bridging the gap between human and Calyxian understanding. What happens now? Lieutenant Walsh asked as the fleet regrouped. Rain stood on the observation deck, her transformed eye seeing both physical space and quantum possibilities. Now we build something new. The Dominion feared evolution, feared change. We'll show the galaxy a better way. High Sovereign Verdrix approached, their crystalline form resonating with approval. You speak wisdom, Commander. Perhaps this was the true purpose of the Nexus key, not to dominate but to unite. As Earth's fleet began rescue operations, Rain watched the stars with new eyes. Humanity had proven itself on a galactic stage, not through conquest or dominance, but through adaptation and cooperation. The galaxy would never be the same, and neither would they. Nova, Rain called, her voice carrying both human determination and Calyxian harmony. Set a course for home. We have a lot of work to do. As the ships turned toward Earth, carrying the seeds of a new alliance, Commander Rain Harrison smiled. In trying to prevent evolution, the Dominion had instead sparked something far more powerful, the birth of a civilization that combined the best of both human and Calyxian potential. The stars seemed brighter somehow, full of new possibilities. And somewhere in the quantum space between thoughts, Rain could feel the future taking shape. A future where humanity's greatest strength wasn't in their weapons or technology, but in their ability to adapt, to change, and to grow beyond their limits. The galaxy had watched in shock as a human fought for alien princesses. Now it would watch in wonder as humans and aliens built a future together, one quantum string at a time.